Hello and welcome to another Beardy David video. Now, as you can see, I have some boxes here. Now these are all the Blu-rays that I own. Now, Life Before Lauren, which was just over 8 years ago, this wasn't this small. I'd say there was probably between like 300 and 350 Blu-rays. But since then, I have scaled down a lot. And I was just thinking the other day, I haven't seen a Blu-ray in ages. And then I was thinking, can I even remember what Blu-rays I got? And then I thought, to hell with it, let's make a video about the Blu-rays that I still own. Even this time last year, this was probably double because I had a load of Disney Blu-rays and a load of Marvel films. But then Disney Plus showed its lovely face. And I thought, I don't need any of these anymore. So I got rid of them. But I thought I would just take a quick skim through today to see what I've got and if I'm ever going to watch it again. So, yeah, there's a few here. Not as many as most people in the world probably. I still have some DVDs, but I didn't really want to look at them. Just want to concentrate on the Blu-rays. Yeah, before I get started, what's your collection like? Is it this size? Is it smaller? Do you not even have any Blu-rays anymore? Like, is there a need for Blu-rays anymore? Nowadays, there are so many films available on all the streaming services, and there are so many streaming services. Are they needed anymore? Do we think they're going to go obsolete? But anyway, I thought I'd just take a little quick browse through at what we've got. Now, so you can see a couple of them over their names, but all of these, there's some classics, there's some not so classics. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we've got. So let's go for these two first. I'm picking up these two because they are one and the same. It's the Inbetweeners movies 1 and 2. Now, this one has still got his cellophane on, so that goes to show you that I haven't even looked at this one yet. But I remember it was on TV a few weeks ago, and Lauren and I did sit down and watch it. The Inbetweeners TV series are great. They are hysterical. And the two movies, they're pretty good as well. I'd definitely say number 1 is better than number 2. In number 1, they go to Greece or like Magaluf or something like that. I think what it is that they say they go to Greece, but it's actually filmed in Magaluf. And then in the Inbetweeners 2, they go to Australia. Silly humour, on the verge of being a bit gross, and lots of swearing and a bit of nudity. Yeah, but all in all, they're good fun. I quite enjoy them. Then we've got 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Now, this is a great film. Yes, I have seen this. I have taken the cellophane off of this one. I don't think there are any more that are still in there, like a little plastic packaging. I think everything else has been opened. Yeah, this is a great film. Won some Oscars. I think it won a couple of Oscars. And Frances McDormand, great performance in this. I think it's about her daughter gets raped and murdered, and then it's all about the police. I don't think I need to get into actually too much detail about this or any of the movies, because I think none of these are particularly new, so I think you should all probably know them all about. So maybe I'll just let you know what I think about them. This is a cracking film, but it's definitely not one that you'd be like, oh, I fancy sitting down and watching this. So maybe I might get rid of this. Maybe I might donate it to charity. Because, yeah, although the performances are great and it's a cracking film, it's not like a Sunday like, oh, let's sit down and watch this film, is it? Then next we have got Bohemian Rhapsody. This is a great film. Rami Malek won an Oscar for this, for his portrayal as Freddie Mercury, and it's just great. And the fact that it's got the whole Live Aid performance on this is one of the main reasons that we own this. It's just fantastic. It's really good. It's got some really sad moments in it, but he's just like the spitting image of Freddie Mercury, isn't he? I remember originally when this was spoken about, Sacha Baron Cohen was going to play Freddie Mercury, but I'm glad Rami did in the end, because I think he's done a top-notch job, hence why he won the Oscar. And then let's just kick on with kind of like biopic films, and then we go straight into Rocketman, which I actually prefer. I think Lauren prefers Bohemian Rhapsody, but I prefer Rocketman, but we both definitely prefer like the actual musical performances from this, because this is a lot more of a heartbreaking story, I think, to see like Elton John's decline into like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. But I mean, Taron Egerton, he's one of my favourite actors anyway. I think he's wonderful in whatever he does. He's brilliant. And he does another stand-up job here. I think he was nominated for No, he wasn't. No, I don't think he was nominated for a Best Actor, and which was surprising, really, because he really did do a great job. And if you haven't seen any of like the musical videos, have a look on YouTube, because they're actually extended versions as to the ones in the film. Like Honky Cat, which is now one of mine and Lauren's favourites. I have an extended like dance bit in that music video, which is really cool. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I know this is a remake. I don't really know why I own this film. I think I only ever saw it once, because I do enjoy a thriller, and I think this is about this is where John Travolta's character, he takes hostage of an underground train, I believe, and Denzel Washington's the guy who's got to go and save the day. Yeah, I don't really know why I own that. Next up, kids classic, absolutely fantastic, Hook. What a cast, what a film. I haven't seen this in years. I really would like to sit down and watch this. I'm sure it'll be great fun. Like Dustin Hoffman as Hook. Actually, we're saying that all of their performances are great. They really are spot on. I definitely think this is probably my favourite Peter Pan retelling in the world of movies. Yeah, like it's better than the Disney one. I think there's been several. A lot of them I haven't even seen. But I mean, is it going to get better than this? Wolf of Wall Street. If you like boobs, if you like drugs, if you like alcohol, then you're going to love this film. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of my faves in the world. I mean, weird random fact that I do like to brag about. I've actually patted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the shoulder. If you don't believe me, go and check out my Instagram stories, because there's one I've got saved. It's a story about when I went to the then it was known as WWF event, and he spilled out into the ring, and I patted him on the back. One of the greatest times of my life. I still haven't. Well, I have washed my hand, but yeah, this is great. I really like this this remake, or not even a remake. It was kind of like a sequel, wasn't it? And since then they've done another film, The Next Level, and there is going to be a fourth one. And I think they're going to be getting a few actors from the like 1994, like very first Jumanji movie. So that'd be great to see them in the fourth film. But yeah, this was great fun. This really took us by surprise. I remember seeing the trailers for it and thinking, this is going to be pretty shoddy. It's not going to be very good, but it was hilarious. And I know a lot of movie studios have been going back to some of their old films and recreating them and following the story on, but I think that's probably one of the best ones. And next up is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I love Eddie Redmayne. I think he's brilliant. He's another one of my favourite actors. This one, the first one, was okay. It was quite an interesting story. I liked some of the beasts that actually come out, and then the whole briefcase scenario. Like going into the briefcase, that was probably the best bit, and seeing like the little world in there. But that's probably about it. I don't think the third one's going to do very well. Is it even going to get made? I'm not quite sure. I know they're struggling over recasting the Johnny Depp character. Was it actual like Grindelwald or Grindelwald, whatever his name is? Yeah, the second one was horrendous. That was really, really bad. So yeah, sorry Eddie. I think you might, but I think he is perfect in that role. But it's just a shame that the movie's just not clicking. Oh yes, one of the best movies of all time, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger plays the Joker in probably arguably his second best role, as we watched 10 Things I Hate About You a few days ago, and that might be his best performance. I'm joking. This is incredible. This was the follow-up from Batman Begins. I don't think there's not much more I can say than just, if you haven't seen this, why haven't you seen it? You need to see it. It's just one of the most tense. I think that this Joker is my favourite villain of all time. Or like, he genuinely frightens me. Even though this isn't a horror, he genuinely scares me as the villain. Because it's just like, he will just do anything to get what he wants. And he just doesn't care who he kills, who he hurts, what he destroys. It's amazing. Oh, actually, we'll bring both of these up because these are both fantastic films. We've got Goodfellas and Casino. Two of my favourite gangster movies of all. I do quite enjoy a good gangster film, and these are two of the best. Goodfellas is the better one out of the two. I mean, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci as the three boys who get down and dirty in the world of gangsters, and lots of murders, lots of blood, lots of dirty dealings and stuff, but it's very good. Now, I'm actually going to put Casino down for a moment because Goodfellas has my most favourite movie scene of all time. That's the moment where Henry and Karen go on their first date, and he takes her to the restaurant to go and see the band, and then as they come out the car, the camera just follows them walking from the car park all the way through the back of the restaurant, meeting all the characters that Henry knows, like giving them tips, walking through the kitchen, chatting to all the chefs, like making a deal with a bloke over some coats. it's just one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen. And then and the music is perfect as well. It's just like, if you haven't seen this film, even just YouTube the scene, it doesn't give anything away, but it's just one of the most beautifully shot moments in movies. It's just brilliant. It's very good. Yeah, and then Casino, very much along the set. So this is all based in Las Vegas. It's really good, but it's really long. I think this is over 3 hours long. It is a writer. Oh no, so it's just under 3 hours. So you've got to sit in and get comfy for this one. But this is really good fun. Very much along the same lines of Goodfellas. A lot of gangster films where it starts like quite jovial, like even though they commit lots of crimes, starts quite jovial, but then then it all kind of goes a bit wrong for everyone. Oh God, like I've been chatting for ages and I've barely even touched the surface. Right, I need to speed this up a bit. Really don't I? Sing Street, Irish film. Absolutely fantastic 80s movie. This has got the best soundtrack I've ever heard in a film. Absolutely gutted that I think this came out in 2016, maybe 2017, and not one of these songs, which are all original, didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, this is such a beautiful, fun coming of age story. Like, coming of age stories are one of my favourite genre of films, and this is perfect. Honestly, just even if you don't want to watch the film, listen to some of the music, because some of the songs on there, like Beautiful Sea, Drive It Like You Stole It, they are just amazing, amazing songs. Oh, Jackass 3. I remember going to the cinema with my friends to watch this. This is definitely one of my guilty pleasures. I do like a Jackass film, and they get me in hysterics. I do like, I mean, I'm getting a bit older now, so I think I would probably feel the injuries a bit more in my body watching in them, but they're good fun. And apparently there's a Jackass 4 coming out this year. I don't know if that's going to be happening now because of the whole COVID thing, but I'd like to see another one, see them all, how old they are. The next up is Armageddon, the end of the world. Absolutely fantastically over-the-top cheesy movie. Some of the actual like destruction scenes are really good, and they do hold up today, which is quite impressive, but man, oh man, this is cheesy. But there's a lot of Aerosmith in it that they play, which is great, because I'm a big fan of Aerosmith. But yeah, like if you want to get cheesed out and watching the world potentially burn, then give that a go. Oh, hello. Right, so let's get all three of these out. This is Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and then Jurassic World. Yeah, I love the Jurassic Park series. I'm not actually a huge fan of Jurassic Park 3 or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I was watching that again the other day. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is not a great film. I feel like it's like almost like a Home Alone movie, but with dinosaurs. It's just a bit silly. Yeah, I don't quite understand it, but I do like the way how it's leading up for the third Jurassic World film, and I know all of the gangs coming back from the original trilogy. To see them characters back is going to be amazing. But yeah, like Jurassic Park, this still holds up today, and I think even in 20 years' time, this is still going to be just as good for a film. Even the effects are still amazing now, and like all the animatronics were great. Lost World Jurassic Park, I quite enjoyed this. I like how the T-Rex comes into a small American town, which I think is what we're going to get, but on a much bigger scale from Jurassic World Dominion, I believe it's called. Yeah, that's quite, and I like it when they go and collect all the dinosaurs off of the island as well. And then Jurassic World with good old Chris Pratt. This was good fun. I enjoyed this. This really took me by surprise. I was worried when it first came out, but they've done a really, really good job of it. And I like how they invented the new dinosaur, which was quite a good idea. And yeah, this was a good old action romp, wasn't it? It was good fun. Right, all those three are done. There we go. Bridesmaids, one of the best comedies of all time. Brilliant. Like, what a cast of comedians this has, and the story is just spot on. It's really, really funny. It's got some amazing scenes, some gross out scenes, and like, I bet they had in the words of Uncle Bryn for Gavin and Stacey, I bet they had an absolute ball making this. Very, very good. If you've not seen it, you need to see it. It's a DVD. Yeah, felt like the DVD wasn't in the. Felt like the Blu Ray wasn't even in there then. Die Hard. I don't know what this is doing in this, because it's a Christmas film and this isn't a Christmas pile. Great film anyway. Oh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. One of my greatest films as a kid. I remember watching this a lot. I think I wore out the VHS for I kept on watching it. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I really, really want to drive that car one day. It's just a beautiful car. The story is good fun. Like, Dick Van Dyke is great as he is in most films that he's in. Like, what the man's like 91, 92, and he's still going strong when he was in the Mary Poppins remake. What a legend. Yeah, great film, great songs. Like, if you're a kid, you're gonna love it. I can't see you not enjoying that. Cool Hand Luke. I think this might be the oldest film in my collection. This is from the 1950s. This is Paul Newman, and he goes to prison, and it's got one of the most famous scenes in it of where he eats 50 boiled eggs, I think, in an hour. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic film. Very beautifully shot. Not a lot happens, but it's definitely a cinematic journey for that time. And yeah, it's just brilliant. It's so cool. Like I think in my late teens, early 20s. So Luke, the character played by Paul Newman, he has a necklace with a bottle of Loper on it. And then I think for one summer, I did go around wearing a necklace with a bottle of Loper on it. That's how cool I am. I can't even say opener, bottle opener. Yeah. So, I mean, he was cool. I didn't make it look very cool. So next up is The Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey. I've not actually seen this, so this is going to go on my to-watch pile, because I would ideally like to see everything that I own in my Blu Ray collection. And I do love a good courtroom drama movie. I know Matthew McConaughey was in a similar film like this called A Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson, which is a very good film. Sadly, that's not in this collection. But I think this is where, like, again, he is a lawyer, and I think the person who he's defending, he knows he's guilty. I think it's about a sexual assault case, and I think he's trying to make the guy own up to that he was actually guilty and that he actually done it. And yeah, I think Lauren has seen this before. She knows of it. She says it's really good. Look, you can tell this is second hand with that there, and it's got screwed on. But I'm going to watch this and see how I get on with it. Another great comedy, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Some great performances there. A lot of silly scenes in this. Yet again, I think they had an absolute ball making this film. Like Kristen Bell, like Elsa. She's nothing like Elsa in this film. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great fun. It's got some good music. And although I'm not a fan of hot places, it really makes me want to go to Hawaii. Now, next up is a very underrated film, and I don't think many people know about it. So it's called The Losers, and it's got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan from The Walking Dead. It's got Zoe Saldana, Chris Evans, Idris Elba. Like, it's a great cast, it really is, and they really have good fun doing this. So they are all a group called The Losers, and they're like mercenaries. And then, from what I can remember, the people who they work for try to kill them, but they survive. And then it's basically about them getting their revenge. It's really cool, this film. It's got some awesome action sequences in it. There's a bit of double crossing, and there's lots of explosions and lots of cool acting. Yeah, like, I'm surprised this wasn't bigger than it was at the time. But if you ever see it, give it a try, because I think it's probably like just under 2 hours. But it's a really good, like, fun action romp. Oh, here we go. Let me do a hat trick here. We're nearly at the end, my friends. We're nearly at the end. You're all doing very well if you're still watching. Adam Sandler, one of my favourite comedic actors from the 90s. And these are my 3 favourite Adam Sandler movies. This is 50 First Dates, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore. Great film, lovely film. Another film that makes me want to go to Hawaii. There we go. Who would have thought of that? 2 in quick succession. Yeah, really funny film. Some of the songs in it are lovely. I think like one of the songs that Adam Sandler writes in it for Drew Barrymore. It's just very, very sweet. It's good fun. It's not like your normal Adam Sandler comedy. Unlike these two, like Happy Gilmore, where he becomes a golfer, is way over the top. Classic Adam Sandler acting. If you're not a fan of him, you're not going to like it. But I'm a fan of the 90s Adam Sandler, definitely. And I mean, I don't know how well I get on with Billy Madison nowadays. I haven't watched this in years, but used to love this as a kid. Used to quote it a lot in school all the time with all of my friends. It was great fun. I'm sure I would probably still like the inner child of David would probably still really enjoy this film. Let's just carry on with this pile, shall we? Oh, yeah, definitely. So let's go for another hat trick of films. Mel Brooks. Very, very funny man. Great director. 3 very, very funny films of me growing up as a kid. Blazing Saddles with the black prisoner who becomes a sheriff as a town. Very funny. It's very close to the mark for majority of the film, but it is very, very good. Yeah, actually, just looking at the back of this, it's quite a highly racist film for to watch in 2021, I reckon. So we'll skip past this one. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Cary Elwes. I watched him in The Princess Bride last month, and he was great. And he's great in this. This is very, very funny. This has got some absolutely stupid humour in it, some silly songs. It's brilliant. It's got a very, very fun cast of this. And again, with me and my friend Adam, we quote this a lot. like every time we see each other, there will be at least one Robin Hood Men in Tights quotes. But my favourite Mel Brooks movie of all time is Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs. Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet. That's worth the admission alone. That's worth the price of the Blu Ray alone. It mainly takes the mickey out of Star Wars, but there's Star Trek references, there's Planet of the Apes references, there's Aliens references. It's just great fun. It's really, really stupid and way over the top. Oh, man, like I might watch this very, very soon because just thinking about some of the scenes in this is really making me smile. Very much worth it indeed. Here we go. Where are we? Down to, we've got 2, 4, 6. So we've got 8 left. Let's move this guy up here. One of my favourite films of all time. Actually, it is my favourite film of all time. I think Back to the Future has been knocked off. And I think it is Chef. Jon Favreau is one of my favourite people in the world. I think he's a great actor. I think he's a great writer. I think he's a great director. I just think he's wonderful. And I really like his Chef show on Netflix. It's just great. And this, again, is a brilliant, brilliant film. No peril in this film whatsoever. It's just pure joy. All about food, some awesome travel, some incredible music. This is on part, like, although I said that Sing Street had my best original soundtrack, this has got my favourite like soundtrack with all like quality tunes on it. I've got it on vinyl, I've got it on my phone. Like, I listen to the Chef soundtrack a lot and I watch the film a lot. I always kind of like to lead this when it's winter. I don't tend to watch it, but when the weather starts getting warmer and the evenings start getting lighter, I watch this once because I feel like this is my let's start like summer film to watch, and it just gets me in a really cheery mood every time I watch it. It's brilliant. And then we've got another coming of age drama called The Way Way Back. This is a great film. Lauren's actually not as big a fan of it as I was hoping for, really. But it's got Alison Janney in it. Alison Janney is one of my favourite actors. She's brilliant. Toni Collette, Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell, Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph is hilarious. She was in Bridesmaids. Yeah, this is great. This is a coming of age drama. Or like coming of age dramedy, where this young lad goes with his mum and new stepdad. They go to the stepdad's summer vacation house. They spend 6 weeks there. He's like a very quiet lad, very shy, doesn't really talk to people. And then he meets Sam Rockwell, and he goes to work at his water park, and he just pretty much finds himself over the course of the summer. It's great. It's got some peril in it, but generally it's really great. And Sam Rockwell, this is the reason that I fell in love with Sam Rockwell, was this film. This made me want to go and watch all of his other films because he is just the best character ever in this film. Like, he's worth it. He's worth it just for that. Oh, next up is another gangster film, which is The Departed. Yet again, another great cast, full of all Oscar winners. Brilliant. Long film, and like all gangster films are long, aren't they? I don't think you ever really get much of a short gangster film, but this is probably the 21st century Goodfellas equivalent. It's just fantastic. Like, you really don't know what's going to happen in this film. A lot of blood, a lot of murder again, a lot of dodgy dealings again. It's just kind of gangster films follow all the same premise, but if they stand out, then it's great. You know, if they can use it, it's essentially the same premise, and they are still this good, then hats off to you. It's brilliant. Oh, we've got our one and only full-time musical on here. And this is Les Mis, the musical event of a lifetime. Now, it's not anymore. Hamilton is now my favourite musical, but before then it was Les Mis. And this Blu Ray is of the 25th anniversary concert at the O2 in London. Now, I remember years and years ago, I was offered tickets to go to this, but the tickets were about 150 quid each. So I was like, no, thank you. I don't want that. I'd rather go down the pub. Yeah, this is brilliant. If you like Les Mis, you're going to love this. It's better than the film, but there's no actual acting in this. There's just all of the cast. They are just singing it on the stage, all with microphones in front of them, and then some of the scenes play out behind them. But it's beautifully done, and they've got like hundreds of extras like standing around the back of the stage who are all singing. Or like the rest of the company are all singing. It's just amazing. It's so loud. And then at the end of it, they get Cameron McIntosh comes out, and then they sing another couple of songs. So they sing "Bring Him Home" with all 4 Jean Valjeans that have played him over the years, and then they sing "One Day More" with like the present cast, the past cast, and like some younger kids that are going to be the future cast. The first time I watched that, I was bawling my eyes out. It was incredible. Yeah, I often watch that bit every now and again, just in case I need to shed a little tear. Oh, now this is another one of my top favourite movies. This is very, very cute. We bought a zoo with Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson. Matt Damon, he buys a zoo. His wife has sadly died of cancer and he doesn't kind of want to live in his house anymore. So he ends up looking for a new one to start like a new chapter of their life and end up buying a zoo. And the journey follows them over the course of, I think, a year. And it's just them trying to get the zoo ready to be fit to be open to the public. It's a lovely, heartfelt story. Yeah, again, this makes me cry all day. I also watch it. The next up, Independence Day. Welcome to Earth, Will Smith. Welcome to Earth. Everyone knows Independence Day. I haven't actually seen the sequel, but I've heard it's absolutely terrible. So I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to stick with Independence Day because I love it. It's yet again cheesy, end of the world. Some of the scenes when the aliens attack, wow, they were mind-blowing at the time. I remember going to cinema to watch this with my mum and dad and being so frightened of when the aliens come up. I remember going, I believe, putting fingers in my ears and also fingers over my eyes so that I definitely couldn't let any light in that I could potentially see the scary aliens. And then when I was older, I actually saw the aliens and thought, what the hell was I worried about? Then, so my second to last one is Everybody Wants Some, which is it's kind of like an unofficial sequel to Dazed and Confused. This film, oh man, like nothing really happens in this film, but it's fantastic. So it's based in the 70s, I believe. No, sorry, it's based in the 80s and it follows a guy who's just got a scholarship to play on the baseball team at a college. And so this is basically his first weekend at college. And he goes out and gets drunk a lot and he goes to loads of parties and they just have a really good time. This is such an upbeat, fun film. And I love it. I watch this quite a lot. I'm surprised that this isn't very well known. But if you're a fan of Dazed and Confused, give this a try. And it's got some really fun, quirky characters in it. And it just makes you want to go out and party, really, which isn't very me anymore. But every time I watch it, I'm like, I want to go out. I want to go out and drink a few beers and have a good time. So here we go. My last film is Ready Player One, based on the hit novel, which I very much enjoy. And yeah, this is great. Follows Wade Watts and his journey to finding all the eggs to win his contract to the Oasis. This is really cool. This is really good fun. I was worried when I read the book and saw that this was coming out, thinking I wasn't going to do it justice. I actually really enjoyed it. Although they did change quite a lot of aspects of the movie from the book, I thought it was really good. It was very, very good fun. As a few of you might know already, I'm reading Ready Player 2. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. I really struggled with the almost first half of it. Then it started to pick up once they introduced the villain, and I'm really enjoying Ready Player 2. There's still parts of it that I'm not quite keen on, and it's definitely not as good as the first book, but I'm holding out hopes for the movie. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. But yeah, this is great. It's a good action adventure, and I really enjoy it. So, there we go. I don't actually know how many Blu-rays in total that was, but I've got a nice little pile down there. So you might have found a few Blu-rays there that you might like to give a try yourself, or you might think, I was going to watch that, but it sounds crap, so I'm not going to bother anymore. But yeah, hopefully I've helped you or inspired you. So that's it from me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.